Yo, you walk the rules, breaking all reality. Define boundaries like you got some justified authority. Thinking you're greater, stepping in my path, living like your life's some grand stage act. But let me drop some truth, iron-fisted rule, don't be mean. Your career's a curse, it's dirty and unclean. Violating the design, the gift of life. You robbing freedom of choice, yeah, I know your kind. Yeah, I know your kind. Back up, Captain Orange, peel face. Your tyrannical reign can't hold my grace. Don't block the light or face his wrath. Cross my line, you'll feel the trumpet blast. You think you're slick, but your game's transparent. Shit, the eyes darting, intention so apparent. Trying to convince us that we making mistakes. Like your MC Hammer singing Can't Touch This. How you even run for a second term? Your track record's burning. Watch it go down like the Hindenburg legacy. Dripping in lies and deceit. Chilling with demons thinking yo, unique. Thinking yo, unique. Back up, Captain Orange, pale face. Your tyrannical reign can't hold my grace. Don't block the light or face his wrath. Cross my line, you feel the trumpet blast. Evil ways don't impress me, we see through the facade. Feelings you reject, that's your own charade. You're a wreck, an emotional mess. But hold on, Donnie boy, don't you stress. Instead of fighting it, embrace your suicidal death. You should've listened to that pigeon-molted angel. Ask for a refund cause your life's lost in the gamble. Straight up rejected, stolen by a thief in the night. Trying to find your way, but you ain't got the light. We're breaking chains, rise up from the dust. In a world full of lies, gotta learn to trust. Your reign's coming down, yeah, it's time to fall. Even by Scottish standards, I got the biggest balls of all. Stand tall, we'll rise, we'll conquer. Your tiny hands means you got tiny balls. Back up, Captain Orange, peel face. Your tyrannical reign can't hold my grace. Don't block the light or face his wrath. Cross my line, you'll feel the trumpet blast. He say what, he say what, he say who, oh yeah, that fool. He had a life in the spotlight, not like McMahon, you lost. Now it's time to shave your ball.
To contrast the measure that separates a lost soul from a condemned soul, because that is what you're talking about actually. Not many people realize that there is a difference between an actual demon and a condemned soul. A lost soul is someone who died suddenly and tragically, leaving behind regrets and things unsaid that causes them to linger by rejecting the light in order to find completeness, in order to rest in peace. They are the most common spiritual encounters, and they appear to those they must convey a message to in order to find peace, often without realizing they are there. People they talk to will randomly have a moment of inspiration and say or do something that causes the person the spirit is trying to reach remember or realize a moment their loved one is trying to point towards in order to try and tell them their message they want to say. It often causes a moment of weirdness. The person will sometimes look around for some sign before brushing it off as coincidence, and often these encounters aren't harmful at all. Now, a condemned soul will often seek ways through religious beliefs and practices to ensure when they die, it will not be the end, and they will have some outline or plan to avoid God's judgment and defy what awaits for years of perceived wickedness. Their plans usually involve vengeance, retribution, violence and bringing harm to others, and they will employ their knowledge to set a spiritual game board-like outline that maps out their path after death and their goals. All of this is a misuse of other religious methods used for various purposes and needs that arose in times of great need, such as war, mass exodus events and so on. Methods paved by unspoken heroes, established by rulers into a method for all to win the favor of the people they rule over, and then preserved by religions that covet these methods as sacred and only for the select few, until the condemned soul comes and steals it for himself, and the cycle begins over from the start by the hero that vanquishes the condemned soul eventually. An actual demon is a being created by the one who we all have come to know as God. Their purpose can be explained through this philosophical wisdom that says, what is the purpose of a serpent in the garden? It eats the vermin gnawing at the roots of the garden. In simple detail, they are the ones created to keep the condemned souls where they are sent, and if they escape, then they are the ones who find them and drag them back. Many cultures have many names for them. The Arabic call them jinn, the Hindu call them devas, the Catholic refer to them as tempests, the Christians just sum them up under one name, Satan. The list goes on, but they have a purpose and usually aren't seen or noticed unless chasing after an escaped condemned soul. True demons will have innate knowledge of heaven and will often interact with angels. If challenged, they will deny banishment by explaining what region within the tempest ranks they come from and when they were created. Sometimes they will take on human form if necessary and even incarnate if commanded to by God. This is by his plan and a part of his grand design which I am forbidden to reveal here the details of. When in human form, the demon will often not know who he is or was, but will learn the truth of it over time. They are not judged like man is, for their lives are molded to commit sins by God's design for it to be, to ensure they will go to where they were created to be and achieve his will. For this reason they also are not meant to suffer as the condemned, but are the ones who apply the methods of their suffering. They answer only to the commands of the angels designed to oversee the dominion, led by Lucifer, who is the angel of the dominion, and his other 6 angelic allies of the rebellion. As was the purpose behind God allowing Lucifer to rebel in the first place, as it was by his design for it to occur. Nothing happens in heaven unless it is by God's will, including the rebellion. One hint is that all demons created by God, their lives and sins will be mirrored by Lucifer's rebellion and what occurred, to follow suit with their transgression and fall. And yet another attempt by heaven to uphold the command that my name be stricken from heaven, as this was leading towards me being assumed to be some jinn-like demon. No, I am not something made of clay and fire, sorry. Then there are the condemned who seek to find ways to escape, like warping my belief in who I am by using my own inspirations to contradict myself and others' beliefs. Something else I've learned is the ones responsible for the hunting since before he was born, of the Son of Man, the tribe whose routes are tied to the sons of Abraham, that are responsible for the false belief that every man is born of original sin because of their parents' act of fornication, and thus all who were born were bound to hell, causing God's Son to be born of immaculate conception to prove their false belief to be wrong. The tribe responsible was the tribe from the sons of Isaac. It was revealed to me that it was why God commanded Abraham to kill his son, because Isaac's sons and tribe would be the ones who would one day kill his son, and had attempted to have his son killed before his birth and had hunted his son his whole life, eventually succeeding with his crucifixion. Michael was right for intervening. If man is condemned for such deeds as murder, then the right choice, and to defend God, the right choice would be to convince God to trust in the outline of his grand design that they would one day answer for, not to allow him to become subject to that judgment by commanding Abraham to kill Isaac out of revenge for what was to yet occur. Doing so would jeopardize everything he's labored for. Also, I noticed something about this taint in heaven. Ariel was cast down for murdering me when I relinquished my allegiance to heaven, when I fell from heaven. Yet he is one of the 4 archangels. He, let me correct myself here, she can claim to those who do not know because they weren't there. Ariel became a woman when he fell, and her fallen name became Cherubus, and exiled to the duty of death. So how is it that Ariel has managed to defy this, where I remember in detail the events that occurred, but the identity is revealed behind the evidence surrounding it, unveiling the mystery? Yet my situation, that was such egregious injustice that the very aspect of it seems to taint the very heavens and corrodes its purity. Whatever the answer is, it seems clear that Ariel may be using this taint to her advantage to defy God's decree. Why does this seem to be leading towards an unavoidable conflict between us, and who is driving my curiosities and enlightenments? Why are they so keen to drive us into battle? I should search the list of Ariel's known enemies to find that answer.